ओम हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः, भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः, स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः, स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः, स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः, स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम तपोभिः क्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्षोऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते। श्लोक नंबर 30। निषिध्य निखिलोपाधिन, निषिध्य निखिलोपाधिन, नेति नेतीति वाक्यतः, नेति नेतीति वाक्यतः, विद्यात् ऐक्यं महावाक्यैः, विद्यात् ऐक्यं महावाक्यैः, जीवात्म परमात्मनोः, जीवात्म परमात्मनोः। In this universe, there are different types of the dualities. Bheda, differences are there. The main differences are between the Jivatma and Paramatma, Jiva and Ishvara. And so, suppose you say that Naham Jivaha Paratmeti, I am not Jiva, I am not soul, I am Paratma, I am limitless consciousness. But saying that I am limitless consciousness, which is Ishvara, Brahman. But if we see that one, there are differences, are there? What? Karya upadihiyam jivaha. This jiva has this karya upadhi. Karya means that which is being created. And what is Ishvara? Karana upadhihi Ishvara. Ishvara is one who is the Karana, who is the cause of this entire universe. And Jiva is one of this Karya Upadhi. इत्यादि श्रुति न्यायेन जीवात्म परमात्मनोः कार्य कारण उपाधि विशिष्टयोः. So Jiva has a Karya Upadhi, Ishvara has a Karana Upadhi. And because of this Karya Upadhi, this Jiva is Alpagna. Whatever we know is always limited. Whereas because of Karana Upadhi, because of the Karana Upadhi, Ishvara is what? Sarvagna. We already, he is all power, all knowledge, all pervasive. And Jiva is what? Alpagnaha, Alpashaktihi, Alpavyapi. Little knowledge we have, little power we have. What is our power? Look at this. As a Jiva, what are our powers? Your mosquito put us in the net, understand? Mosquito is powerful than us. It puts us in the net, mosquito net. So how can you say there is a oneness? Katham ekatvam vidya. How can I know? How can I know that there is a oneness between me and Ishvara? And therefore, this 30th verse, Shankaracharya is giving that. Nishidhya nikhila upadhin. Whatever upadhi are there, negating all the upadhis. Neti neti vakyataha. Vakyataha means mantrataha. In the Upanishad, all these upadhis are being negated. Naiti, 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 not this, not this, not this. Understand? By negating all this upadhi, vidyat aikyam mahavakya, by the upadesha of mahavakya, may you know that there is a oneness. Now, what is mahavakya? Generally, maha means what? Big. Vakya means sentence. So is that this mahavakya is a long sentence? No. Mahavakya doesn't mean it's a long sentence. Mahavakya means the sentence which reveals the oneness between Jiva and Ishvara is called Mahavakya. There are so many Mahavakyas are there. Generally, we give just for example, one Veda, one Mahavakya. Ayamatma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. Samveda Tattvamasi, Tat Jagat Karanam Tvam Asi. Look at this. But there are hundreds of Mahavakyas are there. And so, what is Mahavakya? So Swamiji used to tell that the biggest equation in the world is this is the equation, Jiva and Ishvara equation. Mahavakya is an equation. And in the mathematic language, what is the equation? When I say 15 is equal to 15, it is not equation. If I say 100 is equal to 100, it is not equation. Both sides, when seemingly there is a contradiction, then we need to put that equal. That's why equation. Equation means it shows the sign of equal. So when the seemingly contradictions are, suppose I say 25 plus 10 is equal to 50 minus 15. Look at this. 25 plus 10 equal to 50 minus 50. What happens? All four numbers are not equal. The sign between them also is not equal. One sign is a plus sign, another sign is a minus sign. So when the person sees it first time, it looks what? It's not equal. But when the person knows what is the mathematics, what is the calculation, when you add 10 into 25, it is 35. When you minus 15 from 50, it is 35. Understand? So, when there is a seemingly contradiction, then we have to put the equal sign. Similarly, between Jiva and Ishvara, there is a seemingly contradiction, which is called Upadhigata Vedaha. Yesterday we saw there is ocean. When I say the wave and the ocean, wave is small, just now born and just now gone. Ocean is huge, covering the entire earth. But if we see what is the reality of the wave, what makes wave wave? Understand this. Whole Vedanta is what? Not why, understand. What? What makes wave wave? What makes ocean ocean? That is water. So, the wave doesn't have an independent existence than this water. Similarly, when I say ocean, ocean also doesn't have independent existence than this water. That's why we say wave is water, ocean also is water. So from the standpoint of the Upadhi, there are seemingly contradiction is there. But from the standpoint of the reality, it is same. And therefore, we have to see what is the contradiction. And therefore, Shankaracharya said, Nishidya Nikhila Upadhin. Whatever is the contradictory aspects are there, you remove these contradictory aspects. And therefore, this Mahavakya is an equation which shows the Aikyam, Vidyat Aikyam Mahavakya. But through Mahavakya, you can understand the oneness. No, Swamiji, I want to experience that. A lot of people have this problem. I am non-separate from Ishvara, but I don't feel I am Ishvara. You don't have to feel it. But still we have that. And therefore, in the Shastra, there are Lakshana Vakyas are there. Whenever I say this is Lord Ayyappa, it's a direct sentence. It's called Vachyartha. This is Lord Ayyappa. So everybody understands this is Lord Ayyappa. So it is a direct sentence. We don't have to do anything. But when it comes to the self, the direct sentence are not working. And that's why it's called Lakshana. Why Lakshana you are telling? Because we are given different types of the means of knowledge to know the world. We have 5 senses to know the world directly. It's called Pratyaksha Gnana. That which we don't know directly from the senses, but through the inference we can know, through the assumptions we can know. It's called Paroksha, indirect knowledge. So Pratyaksha Pramana is there. Then Paroksha Pramana, there are 4 types of the Paroksha Pramana. One is called inference. Other day we were talking that on the road of this Bharat Desha, when you are walking, you hear different types of the sounds of the vehicles. By sound, you know which type of the vehicle is there behind you. So sound is direct, Pratyaksha. But you can infer. Why? Because you have seen that sound and the vehicle together. And so this is a sound of the truck. So you know the truck is coming behind me. I move away. Understand? Called inference. Inference is based on the pratyaksha gnana. Similarly, there is second one is called arthapatti. Anumanaha arthapattihi. Arthapatti means two negatives. Shastra gives very nice example. Devadatta pinaha. This Devadatta is fatty, big fellow. Divana khadati. Nobody sees him eating at the daytime. Daytime, you don't see him eating. But he's a big fellow. So we have two negatives. If he's not eating, he won't be big. Understand? Two negatives. Understand? That means what? Nisha khadati. That means when everybody goes to sleep, he goes and opens the fridge and eat. Nighttime he is eating. Because if he's not eating, he would not have been big fellow. So, same way. Suppose in the morning when you wake up and you see that everything is wet. Then what do you say? Oh, night there was a rain. Why? Two negative. If there would not have been rain, everything would not have been wet. So it's called, all this scientific research are based on this presumption only. Whether it's a penicillin or radium, all this based on these presumptions. Then upama. The third paroksha gnanam is called upama, simile. Suppose somebody has gone to the safari, South Africa safari. When he comes back, he describes his example, his experiences. And then he gives the example. You know what? I saw them. Hundreds and hundreds of bisons. What is bison? Then he gives the example. What? Like our water buffalo. Look at it. Bison is like our water buffalo. So when you see bison first time, then you can recognize bison. Why? That example was given. It is like our water buffalo. Called simile, upama. The fourth one is very interesting, called anupalabdhi. You have a knowledge of the absence of the object. And knowledge of the absence, anupalabdhi. Most of our activities are based on this anupalabdhi. Except Vedanta, other people are not accepting anupalabdhi as an independent means of knowledge. But we argue that it is independent. Suppose I say, there is an elephant on my hand. Do you see elephant? No, Swamiji. Where is elephant? There is no elephant. That means you see the absence of elephant here. Understand? As soon as you hear the word elephant, the elephant comes to your mind and you try to see that elephant here on my hand and you don't see the elephant, and therefore you say what? There is an absence of elephant on the hand. So anupalabdhi, absence. Whole our activities anupalabdhi. I write on the paper because I know the paper is blank. And nothing is written on this paper. That's why I can read. I fill the bucket with the water because I know the bucket is empty. I eat food because I know my stomach is empty. Understand? This whole activity is because of anupalabdhi. I walk because I say nothing is there in front of me. If I think that there is a wall in front of me, I can't walk. But I walk, why? Because nothing is there. There is the absence of everything. Therefore, I can walk. I can give you knowledge. I can teach you. Why? Because I know certain things you don't know. And therefore, all these our activities, most of the activities are because of Anupalapti. So, Pratyaksha and 4 types of the Paroksha. Anumanaha or inference. Arthapatti assumptions. Upama simile. Then Anupalabdhi absence of the object. So these are the 5. Then 6th one is called Shabda Pramana. Shabda Pramana means, as I said, the person goes to the South Africa safari, comes and describes his experiences. It's called Shabda. By the words of that person, you know how the safari. Suppose somebody has gone to Char Dham, Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, Yamunotri, he comes back and he describes. Somebody has gone to the marriage, he comes back and describes the marriage. So through the words, you know what all happened there. Through the words, you know how is the Himalaya. Through the words, you know how was the safari. So Shabda also is a Pramana. But Shabda Pramana, in our day-to-day life, there are certain words when we use, they don't have a direct meaning. Understand? It's not the Shastra. Daily life, you are using this. There's nothing new in this. Only Shastra is revealing the whole analysis of the means of knowledge. Otherwise, it is all our experience only. So, when I say this is Lord Ayyappa, it is a direct meaning. Vachyartha, it is called. Direct meaning I can understand. See, many times it happens. Suppose father is working with the files. He's on the table and then he's working. And there is a cupboard where he keeps all his files and books and all this. And children are playing around. Then he will say, Venkata, bring that blue one. Now look at it. Contextually, Venkata knows what? When father is telling, bring the blue one, that means what? He's going to bring the blue color? No. He knows, and therefore what he does? He brings blue file. That means what? Nothing is given up from the sentence, only something is added in the sentence. And so, either you add something, bring blue. Shastra gives example, Shveto Dhavati, white is running. White color is not going to run. So Vachyartha, direct meaning is not available, then we have to go for what? Called Lakshanartha. What is the Lakshana? When I say white is running, Shvetaha Dhavati, then what? Shvetaha Ashvaha Dhavati. White horse is running. So we add something in that. Then there are certain sentences. In Bharat, this is very common. You ask somebody, where is your house? Oh, it's on 4 roads, crossroad. Where is your house? Railway station. We take that his house is on the railway station, on the platform. If somebody says on crossroad, then do you take that he is living on the crossroad? The crossroad, his house is there? No. We understand. We give up the crossroad and we take the nearby place. We give up the railway station and we take the nearby place. Gangayam Goshaha. This is standard example of the scriptures. Gangayam Goshaha. Goshaha, village. There is a village on Ganga. Is it a floating village? No. So you give up the river Ganga and understand that the bank of Ganges. So in these sentences, we have to give up certain things. And that's why it's called Jahat Lakshana. Jahat means you give up. Jahal Lakshan, Tyag Lakshan. In other, we have to add something. Shwetah Dhavati. Why it is running when I say, then I add the horse in that. So it's called, you don't have to give up anything. That's why it's called Ajahata, not giving up. Jahal Lakshana, Ajahal Lakshana. Understand? It is Jahat. But because we say Jahat and Lakshana together, because of the La, this ta will also get converted into La. So it's a Jahal Lakshana, double La it becomes. Jahal Lakshana, Jahal Lakshana. Then this is our common experience. Suppose 3 friends were there. Then one went to America and he lost touch with one, but he was in touch with another friend. Out of 2 friends, he lost touch with one friend. But another one, he was in touch. That fellow married, and therefore he invited this fellow. No, you come, you have to come for my marriage, my son's marriage. You know, it's a huge celebration. Whole our family, we are going to have, this is the first marriage in our family, and we are going to celebrate in big way, and you have to come for my son's marriage. And then he thought, okay, for 4 or 5 years I have not gone. I have to see my parents also. I have to see my village also. So let me go. Now he comes to this marriage. The another fellow is also there. He was also invited, the 3rd friend. And this 3rd friend was talking to this invitee friend, but he was not looking at this American friend. They were not in touch with each other. So the invitee understood that this fellow has not recognized this American friend. So then hey, you know who is he? He looks known to me, but I don't. Really? Yeah. Then what he says? Oh, he's same Subbu, our Subbu. Then he will look at. Really? Subbu, how much weight you have put on? My God. Look at your glasses. You got these big glasses? Look at your hair, all hair, gray hair. Then what? He is our Subbu. Look at this. Tatkala Subbu. The Subbu who was in those days, that place in the hostel. Subbu now, etat desha, etat ka. Now in front of me is there. Then what happened? You remove the Upadhi. Those days Upadhi and these days Upadhi. What is common? Subbu is common. Therefore, same thing here. When say Naham Jivaha Paratmeti, what we have to do? Whatever the contradictory portions are there, you remove. Those days, those type of that single fellow, Subbu, and now this Subbu. So contradictory Upadhi is being removed and the Subbu is remained there. Understand? Same way, here Shankaracharya said, through the Mahavakya. Mahavakya means what? This both. In Mahavakya, something is given up and something is retained. Whatever contradictory parts are there are removed. And what is a common is there are retained. And therefore, it is neither Jahal Lakshana nor Ajahal Lakshana. It is Jahal, Ajahal Lakshana. Both are there. Bhagat Tyaga Lakshana. Through this Mahavakya, we understand that I am Ishvara. And therefore, Shankaracharya says, Mahavakyahi, through Mahavakya, and Vakyahi means what? It's not only 4 Vakyas are there. Understand? So many Mahavakyas are there in the Shastra. Every Upanishad, so many Mahavakyas are. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. Look at this is Mahavakya. The Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma, which is revealed in the heart of every person. Not only that, the next sentence also says what? Tasmadva etasmad atmanah akashas sambodha mahavakya another. That Brahman, which is this Atma, look at Tasmat, means that Brahman. Etasmat atmanah, from this Atma. From that Brahman, from this Atma, Akasha is born. So, Mahavakya. See, that's why I'm telling Vedanta, from the beginning it is Mahavakya. From the beginning, oneness is not that in the beginning they are separate and then you combine them. Yoga. This is what the meaning people are giving for the yoga. Yoga means what? You combine them. From the beginning, Shastra talks oneness only, understand. But we don't understand the oneness, and that's why teaching is there. And so that's why Shankaracharya says, Nikhila Upadhi Nishidya. All these Upadhis which are contradictory. Karya Upadhi is contradictory. Karana Upadhi contradictory. Jiva is Alpagna. Ishvara is Sarvagna. Jiva is Alpashakti. Ishvara is Sarvashakti. All these contradictions are given up. What remains is what? One non-dual consciousness. As wave also is water, ocean also is water. But here we have to understand clearly, wave is water, water is not wave. Ocean is water, water is not ocean. Understand? This is important. Ocean is water, but water is not ocean. Same way, this consciousness, Jiva, when we say, this consciousness looks like Jiva, this consciousness looks like Ishvara, but one is a Maya Upadhi, another is a Avidya Upadhi. But this consciousness is one non-dual consciousness. And therefore, Shankaracharya said, Vidyad Aikam, may you know the oneness through Mahavakya. So, this Jahala Jahal Lakshana is important for us to understand the oneness. But how will I know this oneness clearly? Therefore, in Shastra, there are two types of the qualities are given for the seeker, for the mumukshu. First one is called Viveka Vairagya Samadhi Shatak Sampatti Mumukshutvam Tattvabodh. Shankaracharya says, Sadhana Chatushraya Sampannaha Adhikari Bhavati. Who is a qualified person for Vedanta? The one who has developed this kind of the quality in his mind, he is the qualified person for Vedanta. Vivekaha. What is Viveka? Nitya Nitya Vivekaha. What is Nitya and what is Anitya? Whatever is Anitya, we develop the Vairagya. It's called Viveka Vairagya. But to develop the Vairagya, in every human being, there are 6 facets are there. Every human being personality, there are 6 facets are there. And every facets we have to develop the Vairagya, this passion. So, if you see our human body, our personality, the one personality is called mind, emotional personality. So, to develop the Vairagya at the level of emotions, it's called what? Shamaha. You have enough say over your mind. You don't have to stop your mind, but you have to say over your thinking. Called Shamaha. Then 5 senses are there. Through the senses, we are perceiving these 5 objects in the world. There also we develop the Vairagya, Damaha. I don't listen to the whatever is falling in my ears. I listen to what I want. This is the amazing exercise. When you are traveling in the train, traveling in the plane, a lot of people are talking. If you have this Damaha, you don't listen to them. Even though words are falling in your ears, you don't listen to them. You have to decide. You are seeing what your eyes are showing, or you see what you want to see. That's called Damaha. You eat whatever comes in the plate, or you eat what you want to eat. It's called Damaha. Stay over our senses. Uparatihi. Uparatihi means Swadharma Anushtanam. I would like to do a lot of things. But because I have this duty, I have this responsibility, and therefore I don't do all these things. That means you develop the say over your karma, actions. At the level of actions, you develop uparatihi. You feel like doing so many things, but you don't do it. Uparatihi. Titiksha. From the standpoint of the body also, you develop the dispassion. Shita Ushna. In Vivek Chudamani, Shankaracharya gives very nice definition of the titiksha. I like that one. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. May you endure all kind of the adversity. Dukkha means not only unhappiness, any kind of adversity for our body. But how? That is important. Understand? Fever is there. We have to go through the fever. But that doesn't mean that there is titiksha. Real titiksha means what? Apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam. Look at these three qualities. Amazing. There are adversities out there, but I don't resist them. We already saw. When the situation is there in front of you, your resistance doesn't change the situation. Apratikara. So much resistance are there in our mind. So we have to give up this resistance. Apratikara. Okay, fever is there. Okay, fine. One fellow went to Chinmayanand. He was a regular student. But for some reason, he for a few days, he didn't go. So then when he went there for the classes, then after class, he went to see Chinmayanand. So after a few days, Swamiji was seeing him. And so Swamiji said, where did you go? I didn't see you in the class. Just as a regular, Oh yeah, Swamiji, I had such a bad headache and I didn't know what to do. The Chinmayanand said, do you know why you have headache? This fellow never expected this. No, why? Because you have head. Do you understand? When you have a head, headache is going to come. We have a heart attack is going to come. We don't have to resist all these things. We don't have to create the conflict in our mind. Apratikara. Not only that, chinta. So much worry. So much fever. I don't know what kind of the fever is there. I hope it's not malaria. I hope it is not typhoid. So much worries are there. We don't have to have. Whatever is happening, let it happen. Vilaparahitam. Lot of people have this habit. Anything happens to them, then they so much they talk, blabbering, blabbering. Once the fellow is okay from the fever, you should see how he talks. You know what? I had a fever. When doctor was afraid of. It's okay. Titiksha. No worries are there, no conflicts is there, no blabbering is there. You just endure them. It's not only fever. Sometimes we have to endure wife and husband also. Sometimes we have to endure the employees also. Sometimes we have to endure the country also. Understand? So many things are there which we have to put up with. Titiksha. So we develop this vairagya for this body and other things. Shraddha, samaha, damaha, uparatihi, titiksha. Fifth one is Shraddha. Don't translate Shraddha, understand? Faith is not, belief is not the translation of Shraddha. Shraddha is Shraddha. What is Shraddha? Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Satya Buddhi Avadharana. Avadharana means you accept that. What? Whatever is being said by Guru, whatever is being said in the scriptures, I have a Vishwasa that it is real, Satya Buddhi. I don't understand. I don't think it's true, but still it is being said in the scriptures, it is said by Guru, and so I accept that. It's called Shraddha. Swamiji's definition is very nice. Shraddha is a pending knowledge available for the correction on available data. If I get certain, I believe something, Shraddha is there. But if another type of the data comes into me, then okay, it's fine. Shraddha is a pending knowledge. That's why Bhagavan says, Shraddhavan labhate gnanam, understand? Then last one is Samadhan. Now, Shraddha is a vairagya for our own thinking. Tomorrow we'll see that. That buddhi, thinking faculty. We always trust our thinking. We always trust our own logic. But when it comes to Shastra, Shastra talks about something which cannot be known directly with our intellect. We need Shastra, we need Guru. And therefore, the Shraddha also is required. Shraddha means you have a disposition toward your own thinking. And Samadhanam. Samadhanam means what? Chitta Aikagram. Single pointedness of the mind. We need to have that. Whenever we are learning, whenever we are working, that single pointedness is required. Samadhan. So, all these 6 levels of our personalities are there, and that where at every level we develop the vairagya called Samadhi, Shatak, Sampatti. Look at, they are called Sampatti. Sampatti means wealth. Real wealth is this 6. And Mumukshutvam, desirous of knowledge, moksha, liberation, is called Mumukshu. Understand? Desirous of the liberation is called Mumukshu. But Mumukshu is not the quality. Mumukshutvam, look at it. Tvam is there. Tvam means what? It is a part and parcel of his life. That means moksha is a priority in his life, is called Mumukshu. The person whose priority in the life is moksha. So these 4 qualities are there required, which makes the person adhikari, qualified for the Vedanta study. But just by having a vairagya, one cannot gain the knowledge. Understand? Just by having vairagya, one is not going to gain the knowledge. That's why it's called bahiranga sadhana. External qualities are called this vivek vairagya. But there are other qualities which are required called antaranga sadhana. To understand the oneness between Jiva and Ishvara, only vairagya doesn't work. Something else also is required called antaranga sadhana, internal qualities. And they are in Yajnavalkya Muni, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Atmavare drashtavya. The goal of human life is to have the knowledge of the Atma. But how can I gain that knowledge? Atmavare shrotavya. It is to be listened to. Mantavya. It is to be reflected. Nididhyasitavya. It is to be contemplated. So listening to the Shastra through Guru, reflecting whatever we have listened to, and then contemplate on that whatever we have understood through the Shravana and Manana. It's called Antaranga Sadhana. So tomorrow we'll see these three means of knowledge, which is very much required. If person doesn't have the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, there is no way the person can gain knowledge. Through the Shravana, we gain the knowledge. Shravana is a main, understand. Through Shravana only, we gain this knowledge. Whatever knowledge we have gained has to be reflected upon and then contemplated upon. So we'll see that tomorrow. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amrutangamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Mama.
Hari Om.
Yeah. Electricity went off, is it?
Yeah. Mobile is helpful for all this.
Yes.
That's why they say mobile has replaced the clock, mobile has replaced the wristwatch, mobile has replaced the alarm. So many things is being replaced. Mobile has replaced the camera. So many companies are gone because of this mobile.
That's true.
Whole Kodak company, those who were making the rolls for the camera.
Yes.
Whole Kodak company is gone. Okay, any question? No question to me.
Hari Om.